won. It's not been one of those matches where, you know, he can't be bothered. Quite the opposite, actually.
There's no doubt that he's up for this match, Dave. You're absolutely right. You know, we've watched enough of Sullivan to sort of, how can you put it, sort of grade his, how much he wants to win. And of course, he don't ever go out there and not want to win, but you can see when he's completely switched on, and he is for this match. He's not winning him it yet, but he's still up for it.
Well, it's another big shot, this, for Pang. That's a great pot.
One.
Made a great sound, didn't it, this? That was middle of the pocket.
Very good. I mean, the other thing to say about that, if you think about the Hergo Krang match yesterday, when he played the same opponent in Brentwood in the English, he played most of his shots left-handed, O'Sullivan. He was still trying to pot them. But he wasn't doing that yesterday, you know. So he is more up for this event than the previous one.
4. 5.
Yes, he's looking at maybe not having to play the cannon on the 3 reds. Possibility of a plant, perhaps. He was the top 2 reds I think he was considering, but if that's not on, he will play the cannon. There's your answer. It's either that or he thinks the bottom red of the 3 goes.
12.
There it is the bottom red. It does just go. Of course, that opens up the other pair of reds to the left corner. So, like that other frame he won, what a moment it would be.
$20. 21. 28.
O'Sullivan looking slightly uncomfortable in that chair, knowing that it's out of his hands in this frame now. He would also be aware of the possible shift in the match if Pan could make the clearance. Of course, he's got to get himself on that red, and as a right-handed player, if he got right behind it positionally, I really would fancy him. But he really needs to be kind of where he's queuing up now. Down the cushion, they're going into that pocket very nicely, but you've still got to be behind it. Beautiful. That is a beautiful shot. I suppose there's an argument he could have been over a fraction more, but look at where he has finished. Just reaching across, the angle's perfect. And like I say, they're gliding down the cushion. What a chance this has turned into now.
Well, there'll be 5 in front if he pots this, so he'll need yellow, green, brown and blue. have to say it would be another steal.
42. 44.
Well, he didn't pot that cleanly at all. And you saw the upshot of it. He didn't get nicely on the green. Just feeling the pressure, perhaps. Yes, the ball went in, but not as planned. He's taking the long route from green to brown here. And I'm sure this is not hard enough.
47.
So O'Sullivan is almost certain to come back to the table with a live chance of getting the frame one. The pink clearly is to Pang Jinsu's advantage where it's placed. O'Sullivan just got a glimmer of hope now that the frame isn't over.
Yeah, this time not taking out
47.
the clearance, having potted that last red down the cushion.
Oh, what a shot that is. What a shot. Doesn't want to be anywhere near straight. That will be no good to him at all. I think he has a slight angle as we watch a replay. It was a clean shot. Of course, he'll need the black as well. That's crucial. Does not want to be straight on this either. That's
9.
for sure. He has an angle. Of course, he has to force it, which means, you know, something could go wrong. He could miss it playing it with pace.
Well, Pang had the chance to make the clearance. Ronnie O'Sullivan needs the black, and it's 4-4. Well, it's only brown to black, but that was still a stunning clearance. They were all missable, but O'Sullivan didn't miss. 4-4. Game on again.
请大家保持安静，边上还有比赛，保持安静，不要讲话。
Xu Ying, the referee, again appealing for calm, but to be fair, it was an exciting finish to that frame, wasn't it? And it's also 4-4 now between Judd Trump and Joe O'Connor, so both matches have now, with the big hitters, have got back into it and have levelled up.
Yeah, both matches very good, aren't they? But I mean, this frame, we had a frame earlier that Pang Jinsu won that O'Sullivan might have done. You feel that this one has gone in reverse. Done all the hard work, Pang Jinsu, but just broke down towards the end of it. O'Sullivan was knocking in balls, but there were moments in this frame which could have been pretty seismic in the course of this match. This was one of them. I mean, he's played a good shot there. He looked very upset when the red dropped in. And that's unusual for O'Sullivan. He looked crestfallen there. It didn't make a lot of difference. In the end, he got another chance, which he did not take. But Pang Jinsu then got himself in by knocking that in, and he felt that he was going to steal this frame. A lot of hard work had been done. This was a lovely positional shot. It got right behind the red. But then on the yellow, he just potted it, not cleanly. Seeing this drop in comfortably down the cushion. The moment, didn't quite get to see it there, but the moment where Pang Jinsu lost that frame is when he didn't pot the yellow into the middle of the pocket and land positionally on the green. Sullivan did well to win it. It was a good brown, blue, pink and black there. So that's a steal. O'Sullivan popped out. He knew that he could do with a little bathroom break because he'd stolen a frame, and I think that will give him renewed zest for this match.
Well, that little clearance he made really summed up his attitude in this match. He's really dug in, and he's got the result he wanted to level up. So we're all square. It was 4-2 to Pang. It's now 4-4. O'Sullivan winning a black ball frame there. I can tell you the first winner in this session is John Higgins. He's beaten Matthew Stevens 6-1. He will play either the defending champion Zhang Anda or Lu Haichan there up later. Mark Williams, the other member of the class of 92, he's also in action later against Tepchar and Nu. Judd Trump also 4-4 from 4-2 down with Joe O'Connor. In terms of who the winner of this match would play, well, Jackson Page is 5-4 up and in front against Ali Carter in the next frame.
Another terrific long pot. I mean, his long game has been good today. In fact, both Pang Junsu and Ronnie O'Sullivan have been very good from distance. It's been a really interesting match. Played to a good level. We haven't seen like a barrage of huge breaks, but it's been well contested between this pair.
9. Sixteen.
Beautiful little shot again. And the Reds are in such nice positions here. Scattered around the centre of the table.
Twenty-four. 25.
Well, O'Sullivan won a dramatic 8th frame, but Pang a great long red, and what a wonderful scoring chance he has here to banish the blues of not sealing that frame for a 5-3 lead.
Well, all I can think of is that the middle red must pass, because he walks very
32.
confidently around the table. And from the first angle we had, it just looked like he was on a ball, but the middle one goes, yeah, that's a handy thing. He knew about it, of course. But it could make a lot here.
Well, we may as well say it. It's all reds and blacks, isn't it?
It is, and I mean, right now, surely it isn't the thing that's foremost in his thoughts, but he is on reds and blacks, and it's easier to stay on the black than go on to any other colour.
Mark Selby made a 1-4-3 in the qualifying round in Sheffield. Corin Wilson also made one yesterday. That's Zhu Ying just attending to the cue ball. Seems a bit of a task to get all that sort of chalk off, or whatever was on it, the dirt that's clinging to it. Yeah, it's a big visit, clearly, after, in theory, being rocked by what happened in that last frame, but, as I say, an immediate chance to put it right here.
41.
Goodness me, I thought he'd missed that. It went in very favourably off that bottom jaw, and
48.
makes me think that maybe he can't stay on the black now, unless he can find something in there that we haven't spotted yet. I suppose if he plays this red, he could play on the black, but again, his thoughts will be about getting this frame won. Never mind a 147 that could happen. He's staying on the black now, all right, and maybe a blessing in disguise. The last positional shot went wrong, and he's recovered it.
.36. 57.
Once again, he could have gone up the table there, but it was probably as easy to stay on the black. Next shot, positionally not simple, even though the reds are nicely placed. Nice shot. Nice control.
64.
Well, of course, first things first, get the frame won, and he's not too far from doing that now, and then he can give the 147 his full attention.
.65.
Still needs another red, though, to put the frame away. So this red for a 5-4 lead, and then who knows what will happen in the next few minutes. Well, it is November the 5th, isn't it? Are we going to see some fireworks here from Pang Junxu? He can now give this 147 his full attention now that he's won the frame.
It's very much on the cards, and obviously there are going to be problems, but I suppose to make one against this man as well, that would be quite something, wouldn't it? He's never made one before, so a 147 against O'Sullivan, that would be quite something. And as you say, the frame has now won. He's got the luxury of knowing that. He's within a frame of the match.
Yes, we saw Zach Surety make one, didn't we, in China last season against Ding, and that just made it more special, I think. Pang's highest break 144 in competition. We've had so far 4 maximums this season.
88.
In fact, the last player to make one, Sejol Wheat, has just gone 4-3 up. Shades of Cliff Thorburn there, isn't it? To blow in his nose. He did that at the Crucible in '83 against Terry Griffiths. Let's have a little break here, I think he said, didn't he?
Now this is where things get more awkward, not only because of the pressure of the situation, but getting not only on the red, but usually top side of a red to a corner pocket. Well, that's fine. That is fine. He's almost overcompensated, but it's beautifully positioned. The question of the red directly below the pink now. You know, is that potable from the right side? The answer is probably yes. The other red, the left red of the two, it might be the tricky one. It's a wonderful chance, it really is. Now, is he going to run through here and just move the red and the pink? That might be the route to a maximum. Because I don't think he's quite straight on this, which could be a good thing. Just a little brush off the pink and the red. Well, I'm not sure quite where the red will pop. Problem now, he's going to have to go all around the table. It's doable. I suppose he want to overscrew, but now he's going to have to play a proper shot, and he's got to miss the bulk colours, and they're going to be hard to miss.
It seems in every 147 attempt there's always one massive shot, and this is it, isn't it, right now? Not just potting the red, but getting back for the black.
I don't know if he had the chance to play a red to middle. He's not really done that in this break, because it's always easier to get on the black from those. But anyway, here we are. Well, it's the worst possible scenario. The bulk colours are was difficult to miss here, and he's got to pot the black, and not only that, he's got to somehow cannon the yellow out. Be one of the greatest shots ever in a maximum if he can achieve it all.
Absolutely, if he does it now, it will be very memorable. Well, the black's in, he hasn't cannoned the yellow, so he's going to take some shot to continue, but the break's not done yet. Imagine if he pots this, the crowd, look at them, they're willing him to do it. Well, being told to hush, should be one of the most spectacular yellows you'll see in a maximum if he knocks this in. Hang on. Oh, and he would have been on the green plum. But the break is over. The main thing, you've got to say, he's recovered from not winning the previous frame. He's made 120 and he's 5-4 up, one from victory. Well, again, the ref trying to hush people, but you can understand them getting excited there because it was exciting.
No, absolutely. I was thinking the same. It's, you know, they're enjoying themselves. I mean, it was, what a moment. The black followed by the yellow, and the yellow nearly fluked. It was quite something. We can have a look back at it, and it's a terrific break. It just sort of slightly went wrong towards the end. As I mentioned earlier in the break, you know, getting onto the right angle on the reds to finish on the black every time can become a problem. This was where the break really seemed possible when he played that shot. You know, but in the end it all just became a little bit too much for him. It might help him win the match, not making the 147. That might have distracted him, and as much as he'd like this 147, he'd like to beat O'Sullivan in this match more than make the break. I mean, if he could do both, it would have been the dream outcome, really, stuff that dreams are made of. But he didn't get to 147, and it was all a question of landing on the last red with the right angle, and didn't do so. Here you think, don't hit a bolt colour, please, and then he does. Not only that, I mean, it's a great black. The fact that he pushed the yellow safe was the problem. You know, whether he could have played this and to try to move it as well, it would have been one of the great shots ever. The crowd loved it, and we'd have absolutely loved it if this had gone in, because it would have been a pretty unique 147 had he won it, or had he made it in circumstances like that. You know, the black to yellow and then the yellow, which nearly fluked, but it never happened. But what a moment. We enjoyed it all the same.
Yeah, I mean, OK, it would have been a fluke, but he was, as I say, it was nice on the green every chance. Anyway, as I say, now the dust has settled, the fact is he's 5-4 up with a chance to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan. So big half an hour or so coming up here. So, dramatic match, and one thing we do know is the winner of it will play Jackson Page in the next round. He's beaten Ali Carter 6-4. No maximum from Pang Zhengzhou, but he's 5-4 up against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Just waiting for frame 10 of a possible 11 to get underway.
Frame 10.
Here we go.
Pang Junshi to break.
While all of that was going on, Gary Wilson has come from 4-1 down to level at 4-4 with Robbie Williams. And Jack Lazowski, Si Jiahui, that's 4-3 to Si Jiahui. So these games all very tense. Judd Trump still 4 each. He is in front in the next against Joe O'Connor, who does need a couple of snookers actually. Otherwise it'd be 5-4 to Trump. O'Sullivan taking on a long one.
Yeah, didn't look hugely comfortable on the shot, did he? Got up a couple of times. Well, the pressure's on O'Sullivan now, all right. He would like to do well this week. He's been totally focused on the tournament. He's not sort of going into it with anything but complete lights out, but he's not winning. He's not winning, that's the problem. And he's up against a very tough opponent here, giving him very little, scoring well himself.
Yeah, Pang's break, I mean, it wasn't a maximum, but very impressive, bearing in mind how he'd lost the previous frame. He'd had every right to be really disappointed and his focus to be affected, but not a bit of it. Just got on with the task in hand. You can see the plasters there on his fingers. He's had them on all week for reasons unknown.
Well, it's a good shot if he's landed on the black, which he certainly tried. I think he is okay. He's fine.
So he's in with his first chance to win the match. And O'Sullivan will be concerned after what happened in the last frame. But the fact it is to win the match, maybe that will, well, it will put more pressure on. He seems very cool right now, though, after, of course, not winning the previous frame. He won that last one in one visit. I think that says a lot about him. We saw it in Belfast, the way he finished off against Neil Robertson.
Well, he's been very dominant around the black spot in these last couple of frames, isn't he? There's an example of the sort of player he is, meticulous, good cue ball control, gives nothing away in sort of giving easy chances back. And he's still, 25. I think, work in progress, but his scoring is improving all the time. The work he puts in, long hours on the practice table, I know that for a fact. Usually the last to leave of all the players practicing in the academy. All of these things for moments like this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just joining us, Sullivan, it's not that he's played badly, he's really competed in all areas, but Pang, well, stepping it up when you have to at the end of the match. Well, it's all reds and blacks again. We've been here before, but it really is, the frame really is the important thing now, because it will also, of course, be the match.
It's all true, but I tell you, this is a period of break building which he's putting together, isn't it? The last frame, all the reds and blacks, as Dave said, getting right up to the yellow, which is where it all ended, and now in doing the same again here. And what a moment to be doing all this, playing like this. It's not a practice session where you can knock in break after break. It's the complete opposite of that. He's overhit by a long way, by a very long way.
48.
Yes, he's still on the red, but that side of the blue.
Maybe that's just a little burst of adrenaline with the winning line coming into view.